Hey, what's up, Grateful? What's up, Gerson and Alaska? What's up, Gold Pro? How you guys doing? Good to see you guys. I'm just getting the stream set up. We got about 18 minutes until the space should start. So if you guys want to be in the Twitter space, that's fine. I'm just doing this for the people on YouTube, and so it can be recorded and people can go back and watch it. Um, but it will be starting in 18 minutes. I'm just getting everything set up, and then we'll be hanging out for a couple minutes. And if you have questions, you want to go up there and ask a question, you can definitely do that through the Twitter space. I won't be offended if you're on Twitter. Hey, what's up, Funny Doll? Usually interested in the announcements, believe me. What's up, man? How's it going? There's sound. Hello, everyone. What's up? Move and silence. How you doing? I'm ready for some good news. Yeah, I think we're gonna get some pretty exciting news today. So we got about 17 minutes left. I've got the stream going. I think that's good. We'll leave the ad revenue off since it barely makes anything anyways. um, cool. Cool. If you guys do me a favor, just hit that like button and try to reach more people, get more people in here so they can see Evergrow. All right. Okay. All right, guys. We got 15 minutes before it starts. How you guys doing? Been a while since I've caught a live. Hope it's going great. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. It's doing decent. Trying to make sure I've got everything. How are you guys feeling about Evergrow? You guys still excited? There's been such an insane amount of drama in the crypto space. All right, I need to turn up the volume. Twitter Spaces come through really quiet, so I actually have to like put a filter on whenever I do the Twitter Spaces to raise the gain so that it's actually, you can actually hear it. When do you think the crypto winter will end? I don't know, man. That's a good question. I feel like we feel like it won't be too long, but who knows, I've never sold since day 7. It's been a little painful to drop, but I'm betting on the reflections in the future. That's what I bought for. DeFi, baby. What's up, Brett? How you doing, man? It's good to hear. Yeah, if you guys do me a favor, hit the like button. That'll help get more people in here so they can be a part of the AMA. It really doesn't really help me. Unless somebody comes in and donates, then it helps me. In that case, hit the like button. What's up? I haven't really followed this coin. What's up, XRP Patriot? Yeah, Evergrow coin, I found it before it launched. I read the tokenomics and I was like, this looks like a really good project. So I bought into it, and it did really well. I talked myself out of it. I've talked myself into buying way more of tokens that do terrible. I did not put that much into Evergrow, but I got in early enough that I was able to make a little bit off of it, and I also put videos out on it. So a bunch of my followers who followed me from SafeMoon, a lot of them followed me into Evergrow, and like almost every single person that followed me into Evergrow made money, whether it was through rewards or whether it was through getting in super early and taking profits. So it was really awesome to not only get in a project early myself, but to also help other people get into it. So that was the first initial pump and dump, because you're always going to have that. And then they talk about the J curve, and we are finally starting to, I think, going to start seeing the release of the utilities that could hopefully produce that J curve and have the price action go beyond what it was in the beginning, but more so to have consistent volume with a rewards token, because that's the hardest thing that any rewards token just can't seem to manage to do, is have consistent volume. So, Sam is an expert when it comes to his financial background, and he's very good at marketing. So if we have good products, the NFT marketplace, LunaSky and Crater, if they can do well to bring in volume, we'll have consistent volume that's buying and burning Evergrow, and that's being distributed as direct rewards. And it will probably be better if it's consistent, especially if it does really well, to hold than it will to sell your bag. It'll be the first time that a project has really been that way. How's your health going? Not great, but it's okay. The momentum is back. What's up, D-Libby? Yeah, it's definitely starting to come back. Yeah, EGC has 2 huge announcements they're about to do. You can do it. You can join the Twitter space if you want, because they're going to be doing an AMA afterwards. I don't know if how many people will be able to ask questions, or you can just hang out in this chat, and I'll have it on here as well. You haven't sold any of your Evergrow? Yeah, I picked a selling point, and I told everybody, I was like, yeah, guys, I'm going to sell around here. And we got around there, and I sold, and it was actually not too far from the top, but I wasn't a whale. I had a decent bag, but I wasn't a whale, so I sold a little more than half my bag, and made a decent amount, which honestly I really needed, because my health has not been allowing me to work lately. I'm just having some kind of health issue I need to figure out. If not, it's going to stop me from being able to work. Of all the DeFi projects out there, I'm most excited for Evergrow simply because I have faith in Sam and his team. The roadmap is exciting. That's right, Paul G. I honestly think that, I try to be very honest with people, because I don't want people to come back and be upset with me. We're gambling no matter what, right? I don't like saying this is guaranteed, it's going to be the next big thing, and load up, guys, but not financial advice, but load up. I hate that. It seems dishonest. I think it's better to talk about the good and the bad, and let people decide for themselves. It's nothing wrong with saying that you believe it's going to do well, but to treat it like it's guaranteed is I think dishonest. Now, my personal perspective on Evergrow is, Sam's rich. He's nice, very nice place. He's already successful in life. He looks up to Elon Musk, and he wants to, I think he has a goal to want to in some way be like Elon Musk. And I think he's taking his expertise of being a financial consultant and whatever his background was. He got an award, and he's taking it into crypto in this completely different world, and he wants to be a top 20 crypto. Not many people bring to the table what Sam brings to the table, and I realized I didn't even know that when I first got into Evergrow. So as soon as I found out about Sam, I was like, holy cow. I've never been so bullish on a project. And unfortunately, the launching of the utilities has taken longer, but they weren't good enough. And it's better for a project to wait and launch something good than it is to launch something crappy. And it sucks, because your investors buy based on dates and based on the roadmap. So yes, I understand the frustration there, but the team has demonstrated that they use their own money to take care of stuff. They've used their own wallets to fund things instead of using marketing and stuff. So they're definitely, that's a huge selling point for me, is that Sam, he's not being bought out. He actually has a vision for Evergrow being a top crypto, and that vision affects all of us. If Sam succeeds in what he's doing, then we all get to, all us who trusted and believed in him, get the reward of that benefit. And I definitely, right now, it's hard to know what utilities are going to do well, and how much volume they could create, or maybe they won't do well. You have to be open to that realistic possibility. But as far as Sam putting the project first and not being bought out, like most devs, they've never even seen this kind of money. You know, they've never seen hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. So they're very easily convinced after they get the money they need to give up on a project. It's so hard to get a project to do well. But Sam came into this without the desire to make money. I mean, I think his desire is to make money, but that's like secondary. It's to make money off of a project that he has taken to the top. And he was looking for a project when he found Evergrow. So Sam actually is not the creator of Evergrow. Dang, bro, take care of your health. Thank you so much, Gold Pro. I've got some kind of, it's either acid reflux, a lung issue, esophagus issue, and a heart issue. Somehow all those are connected to causing me some kind of health problems. And I have an appointment to go get that looked at with a pulmonologist. But the earliest they could look at it was October. So I'm just kind of trying to, you know, make it till then. You can hear it in my voice. You can hear the raspiness in my voice because there's something going on, and it's literally like causing my heart to like flutter. So not the most fun thing to be going through, and it does make it really hard to work when it is triggered or whatever triggers it. I have no idea. Sound is good on my end. It's a little low. Okay, yeah. I don't know why my audio from my mic looks a little low, but I'm gonna turn up the audio for the space, so the space will be really loud. I could turn up the audio for my mic. You wouldn't want to turn it up too much. So yeah, you can just hear that in my voice. You know what I mean? You can just hear that raspiness. All right, what about that? Is that a little better on the mic, or should I turn it up a little bit more? Hello. I feel like a little bit more would be better. We got 7 minutes, but yeah. It's good to see you guys. You know, I miss like hanging out with you guys. Hello. Okay, I feel like that's better, right, guys? I don't know if I have D-Libby. I've never tested positive for it. Hey, I appreciate it, Austin. You know, we've all got issues, so I'm not trying to complain. I just let you guys know that it's affecting my ability to work and to make videos and stuff. Because I'm not making money. I haven't been making money all year, and I've been having health issues all year. So honestly, if it wasn't for Evergrow, I would have been screwed. So it's like, thank God that I got into Evergrow, because it's provided me the ability to try to figure out what my health issues are before I can get back to work. Because I'm a pretty big believer in like being active and working out. I actually work out a lot. I'm not unhealthy. It's just there's something wrong with me that's affecting me. And if I can fix that one thing, I'll be a healthy person. You know, I like to work out and stuff and eat. I don't eat like crazy terrible. You know, I used to smoke. I used to smoke weed, but I used to drink. I've stopped all things. You know, I don't do anything. I haven't done anything for quite a while, actually. All right, this is going to be exciting. Anyways, enough about me. We got 6 minutes before the space starts. If you guys have any questions, you can go into the Twitter space, and you might have a chance to ask it at the end because it says AMA after the big announcements. I do think that, yeah. So I will be honest with you guys because I always try to be upfront. I'm friends with the people of Evergrow. You know, I've worked to make videos with them in the past. And when there was talks about working together at the very early days of Evergrow, I came to them about being part of them. And, you know, sometimes I'll get little, you know, snippets of information before other people do. But I will just say that this is the most bullish I am on any project. It's still a gamble. You're still risking your money. You still need to know when to be smart and pull your funds out. You know, you have to make that decision for yourself. Nobody knows the right answer. Nobody knows the top. Nobody knows the bottom. Nobody knows if it's going up or down. Anybody who pretends to is lying. So do what you think is best. But at the same time, my goal with Evergrow is long term. It's a long term play. And I know that if Sam's vision comes true, that holding for rewards will be more valuable than looking for a selling point. Wow, Austin, that's insane. Like, thank God that happened, right? It's weird to think that God would use like investing in cryptocurrency to help people like that, you know, because people have to lose for other people to win. If you ever make a big win in crypto, it's because a bunch of people lost that money somehow, you know. So, but yeah, thank God that that was able to help you. Your cholesterol level? No, mine's like esophagus, acid reflux, lung, heart. Somehow all of that's connected to my issue. Sorry, I don't want to keep talking about my health, but you can hear it in my voice. You can hear how raspy it is, and whatever that is causing me chest pain. I literally went to it in an ambulance to the ER last week because I woke up and my heart rate was like 120, and resting, your heart rate is supposed to go down, not up. So whatever that is causing my heart to give me anxiety and to race. It's like, it's not fun. I'm not having a good time. Yeah, 3 minutes, guys. Also, if you guys haven't checked it out, the Evergrow website is actually like really good. We have a really awesome website. You kind of want to, you might look at it and not think much, but you got to get used to like moving around in it, and you can find stuff out. Like this is the most fun thing as an investor, is seeing the progress of the utilities. You know, we got the bottom 4 utilities are at 20 to 30%. The metaverse is at 20%. The exchange, wallet, and lending is at 30. So I'm not 100% sure if this is going to change or not, but the big ones are LunaSky and Creator. And obviously LunaSky is basically done if it's at 95%, and Creator's not far behind it, which is also really exciting. So I'm sure they'll be going live soon, and I'll be chilling in there. No, I appreciate it, Gold Pro. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. But yeah. Mitch Bromwell, good to see you, man. I was wondering how you were doing because I haven't done anything on Crypto Control in a minute. I was going to do this on Crypto Dreams, and I thought, you know what, I'll do it on Crypto Control. That way I can reach a different audience that maybe hasn't looked at Evergrow yet. That's the thing, is like, people that followed me into Evergrow, a lot of you guys made profits, and I didn't know that Evergrow was going to be as big as it was, but I was bullish on it in the beginning. I was bullish enough on it to let people know about it. And now it's a different kind of bullishness, because it's like nobody is able to do the J curve. It's like, it's rare, right? Teams usually give up, teams rug, teams just take the liquidity. It's such a rare thing. But for me and my personal perspective, this Evergrow has the most potential to do the J curve out of all the projects that I've looked at and that I see. It has the most potential, in my opinion. It's okay if you guys feel that way. It's okay if you don't. Okay, now it's starting. Now we just get in there and turn up the audio. All right, guys, I'm going to mute myself, but I will be listening with you guys. They're not talking yet, so I'll stay here until they start talking, just to make sure that the audio is good and everything. Thank you so much, Mitch. You're awesome, bro. Ask what question, Trivinos? How do you watch the AMA just live on Twitter? You can hang out here on the YouTube, or you can go to the Twitter. It's totally whatever you want to do, man. I'm not going to, you don't have to be here. It's whatever you prefer. Twitter, here.
All right. Hey, everybody.
Okay, there we go. It is very quiet.
It's time. Glad to see everybody piling in. Fantastic. I'm going to get everybody pulled up, the speakers, and we will go from there, okay? So let's get everybody pulled up here. If you can hear me, give me a emoji, give me a heart, give me a something. What do you got? All right.
Oh my God, Austin, thank you so much.
Mr. Evergrow Frank.
Yo, Brandon, you guys, I love you guys. Thank you so much. $50 a piece. You guys are amazing. It's not much, but I hope you get some answers for your health issues.
Good morning. Check. Can you hear me nice and clear? I know I've had problems in the past.
Okay, guys. Does that sound better?
Yes, sir. Got you.
Thank you so much for the donations, guys.
Hey, Frank. How are you,
Brandon,
my brother?
and Austin, thank you.
Good, my man. How are you?
Very good. I think we've got Evergrow Paul in the house.
I am here. You know what's funny? You know, my family, when I go in the house, they call me Evergrow Paul now. Like, it's kind of stuck.
That's it, man. For life.
Wouldn't expect
any other projects.
I really can't. And then I get that
Would-
they come in and they're like, "Oh, Evergrow Paul's here. Everyone, be quiet." Blah blah blah. I get the whole thing. It's a mess.
Well,
Wouldn't
I will
expect
say
them
this,
less.
not because I want to sound like a celebrity, just because it was very cool that somebody actually recognized me in a random bar the other day, and an Evergrow holder came up to me and we had a little chat, shook hands, and it was a really nice experience. So I'm sure we'll get to meet a lot more of you in person at some point very soon, hopefully.
Oh, that is
Wow,
fantastic.
celebrity status. Nice.
Seriously, yeah, wow.
Sam,
Very small
worldwide.
celebrity status.
So I can book those flights.
Going worldwide. That's awesome. Fantastic. Well, this is just beyond exciting, isn't it, everybody? I mean, it's been a long time in the making. We haven't had a Spaces in a long time. So awesome to see everybody's faces and all the wonderfully nice comments out there. Just scrolling through the crowd. Let's say hey to some folks. Mr. Crypto Control, Mr. Animal, EGC James and Nicola, the staff, Jim Hawk. Always good seeing everybody. Mr. Rich, great seeing you. Sassy Lassie, our friend.
Sassy
Our friend.
Hero.
Yeah. Who else is out there? I see in Sam We Trust. We know who that is.
How'd you skip Hyperbeam? Come on.
Hyperbeam, my friend. So sorry. Well,
You got Hawkish out there. And we're up to almost 600 listeners already.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, Evergrow
Excitement
Matt
out there.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Great seeing everybody. Thomas, I see you out there. Always good seeing you, my friend. Pleasure. I love scrolling through these, Michael. Hey, Michael.
Yeah.
Just saying what's up to everybody.
I see our guy Drake out
Yeah.
there from Discord. He's in there. It's hard to find people. There's so many of them, but
yeah,
scrolling through.
Hey, here's something for him. If y'all are feeling good, throw out a heart emoji. If you're feeling great, good, awesome, throw out a heart emoji. Let's see it. I want to see a ton of hearts, different colors flying out right now. Let me get mine. Where's mine at? There we go. Oh, yeah, look at that. That is so cool. Well, fantastic. We'll give it just a couple more minutes, not too much longer, and then we'll get straight to it. Looks like we've got a really nice crowd already. We're about 4 minutes past the hour. I'll tell you what, we'll go ahead and hop in. Y'all have waited long enough. Welcome to the biggest Evergrow Spaces of the year. So happy to have you here. We're going to go ahead and get things started. We've got two big announcements for you, as you saw from the cryptic tweet, right? Two announcements. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it to Sam and let him start with the first announcement. Sam, come on down.
Thank you very much, Cody, the smoothest voice in crypto by a long way. So I think it's fair enough to say that the Evergrow family has been patient and they've waited a long time. So we're not going to draw this out. I'm going to get straight to the point. I think you all know that September the 25th is our first birthday. So we wanted to do something very special to celebrate that. Over the last year, we built this incredible harmonious community, which is quite a miracle considering what we've all gone through in this crypto market over the last sort of 6 or 7 months at least. We have 140,000 holders pretty much. We've given out nearly, I think, $38 million of rewards. We've forged these incredible partnerships that I believe are going to result in some of the most significant developments in tech, blockchain, social media, and entertainment over the next decade. And I also believe that we've designed possibly the best ecosystem in crypto. So our first birthday, I think a lot of you may have guessed this already, September 25th, we are going to launch LunaSky, our NFT marketplace. And we're going to launch with a 15,000 strong NFT collection. As you all know, the Evergrow NFT collection, every single one is unique. They're going to be low priced, everyone can afford one. And every single NFT is going to give the owner of that NFT the chance to win a Tesla Model 3 or 50,000 Binance dollars. We're going to run a huge promotion to put LunaSky firmly on the map. That's not going to be the only utility that the NFTs offer, because we really, really want to push that collection out. So the collection should raise up to $1.5 million. 100% of that will go to buyback and burn. 100%. We're not taking a penny out of it. We're going to cover the expenses. We're going to cover the cost of the Tesla, etc., from the marketing budget, which is at a nice, healthy level. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to mark the beginning of the era of delivery. Evergrow, it's time we started delivering, and this is just going to mark the very beginning of that. So what that's the first announcement. The second announcement is that there will be a glue that holds this ecosystem together, and it's going to compound the buyback and burn, the growth, the BUSD rewards for every single holder. And that is the second announcement we're going to make tonight. So we're about to share a video that we can all watch together here. I'm going to pass back now to Cody. So Cody, are you there?
Yes, loud and clear. I am here. That's right. The next announcement is going to be per a video we have prepared for you all. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to tweet the video link from the official Evergrow page. That will lead you to our official YouTube page. You will watch the video. It's right under 5 minutes. And then you will come back and we will continue to have an AMA. We'll also do some questions at some point. We do have a few other updates to go through as well after the video. And right now is the video time. So give me just a moment to prepare the video and I will let you know the moment that it gets tweeted. It'll also be pinned to the spaces as well. So you'll be able to click it at the top here in just a second. So give me just a moment, everybody.
After Cody does what he does and we watch the video, we're gonna everyone come back here in about the video is about 5 minutes long. We'll give you about 5-6 minutes so everyone can watch. Come back here. Sam's gonna go ahead and talk. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys an update on LunaSky, all the features on that, and we'll try to get through that as fast as we can because we want to hear from you guys and get as many questions in as we can.
Don't forget, guys, when you see that tweet, do like it, do share it as well so we can get lots of attention for it. So that tweet should be going up any minute now, all being well.
The tweet is live. Everybody, enjoy. Put your headphones on, put it on the big screen, turn the lights down, and enjoy the video. We'll see you back in 5 minutes. All right, and I'll check in occasionally just to remind people that are coming in that there is a tweet with a YouTube link. You all will experience some dead air for a brief period, but I will be here to check in.
Since the earliest humans
Well, the video's already got
first gazed
19
at the night sky,
likes. No one's had a chance to see it yet, so that's not a bad sign.
for the answer to
I'm
one
afraid to
simple
get off
question.
of the Twitter spaces to go look at it.
All right, guys, we're going to watch the video right now.
It is now pinned to the top of the spaces, everybody.
This is the video. We're going to watch it together.
What does it all
Exciting time.
Since the earliest humans first gazed at the night sky, humanity has searched for the answer to one simple question. What does it all mean? Why are we here? What is our purpose? As we move through generations, such things remain unanswered, yet our lives are enriched by moments shared with our friends and loved ones on this crazy, wild, and amazing journey. Over the last century, we have been blessed to witness the advent of technology, from radio to television, personal computers, and the internet. These have formed an intrinsic part of our culture, our society, our collective conscience. And as we look to the future, we ask ourselves, where will this exploration of technology take us next? For many, that place is already here, and that place is the blockchain. Introducing its newest member, Lucro! From the team behind Evergrow, one of the most successful and trusted projects in DeFi, we introduce a brand new ecosystem token. Lucro is the token that will power Evergrow's leading suite of utilities. A suite which includes LunaSky, a beautiful multi-chain NFT marketplace that will take NFTs into the next generation with ticketing, real estate, music, and more. Crater, the world's first social media and influencer platform that combines crypto and fiat payment options. Evergrow Wallet, a truly game-changing application that will make buying and holding crypto effortless with full tokenomics for all. And our metaverse partnership, The Abstract, which offers an array of immersive 3D experiences from gaming and shopping to virtual sports and events. Lucro has been perfectly designed to benefit holders of both Lucro and Evergrow. In fact, Lucro means benefit or profit in Spanish. That's no coincidence. Lucro is a high-volume ecosystem token with a nominal 1% tax on all transactions. Of that 1%, 0.8% automatically goes to Evergrow's buyback and burn function, a function which buys Evergrow coin, driving price and rewards, and automatically burns those tokens, reducing overall supply. Lucro will be released on September 10th, 2022 by fair launch on the Evergrow website. This means no whitelists, no pre-sales, and a minimum purchase of just $10. This is the very first time in crypto history where everyone, regardless of background or connections, has the opportunity to purchase a new token from a known and trusted team at the lowest price point. Today, we are offering you the opportunity to truly get in at the ground level of a revolution. Lucro is using the same contract that has performed flawlessly for Evergrow over the last 11 months. One of the most secure and trusted contracts in DeFi. And for extra peace of mind, the contract will be fully audited by Certic before launch, the pinnacle of crypto security. Every dollar raised from this launch will benefit holders of both Evergrow and Lucro with a serious injection into marketing and development budgets. Not a single dollar will go anywhere else. With every new utility launched, demand on Lucro will increase, and Evergrow's buyback and burn function will receive funds from both Lucro's volume and from utility revenue. This is the very definition of symbiosis, a system designed to perfection for the benefit of all. So join us as the Evergrow ecosystem becomes a reality and as we continue to revolutionize passive income. Become a part of the driving force behind that revolution. Become a part of Lucro.
Spaces trauma, you know. Spaces decides to not work.
So for those who've just joined us, everybody is watching a video that we've just released. Some of the comments were something insane, beginning with F. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm more excited. Love it, super hyped, game changer, brilliant things to come. The video has been viewed 782 times inside 5 minutes with 151 likes. I think we've done pretty well, guys.
I like these comments about people saying they're first. No, I'm first. I was third. I like that, y'all. That's awesome.
You know, it just shows how powerful and how great the EGC family is. You know what? It really does.
Yeah, I think we've got to give some special credit while people are just watching the end of the video to CP, who created the video with our amazing design family, the Gomez family, and with Cody. Absolutely incredible guys that we have heading up the design side of Evergrow, which is critical to building, you know, beautiful content, beautiful ecosystem.
Such a good job, guys.
Absolutely.
So beautiful. Round of applause for CP and crew.
Absolutely.
Guys, I'm speechless. I'm really speechless. Well done to everyone.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, I again have to round of applause to CP and the Gomez family as well. Yeah, I think we're probably about that time. So let's go ahead and just, wow, you know, that was it, everybody. Announcement number 2, Lucro. There it is. You've seen it. You're going to be able to see it forever. It's on the tubes. Now, that being said, we'll go ahead and pass it over to Sam and let him to talk to you all about it. Sam?
Okay, so yeah, well, I'm not gonna immediately talk about Lucro because I'm sure you guys are gonna have. We prefer to do things off the cuff based on your questions. Obviously, so what we're gonna do now, Paul's gonna give us some good content on LunaSky, so we're gonna understand because obviously it's hugely important for you guys that LunaSky is coming out soon. you'll all be starting to absorb the implications of Lucro. I've been hinting at this for 8 or 9 months now, that this is what we needed, and I'm so excited we can do this. This is symbiosis at play here. These two tokens are going to work together in perfect harmony, and they're both going to help build each other, build demand for each other, build rewards for everybody. So it's incredibly exciting. But we'll talk more about that a little bit later. I want to cover off some other really important stuff. As you saw recently, we've effectively dissolved what was called the core team, which was myself, Ajit, Praveen, and Jacob. The core team worked incredibly intensely. I can't even tell you what we went through for the first 3 or 4 months of the project, but we've been incredibly lucky to be able to identify some true talent in our community. Talent in design, in business, in operations, in management, people who work for major global companies who are passionate about Evergrow, and they've given their time to the team. So what that's meant is that we've actually expanded into a management team now. There is no core team anymore. But I want to talk about two very special people, Praveen and Jacob. They've been side by side with me at times for 18 to 20 hours a day from the very first week when I came on board. They've helped to get Evergrow to where it is. Now they have very gracefully stepped aside so that we can build the management team in a more coherent way. Because as you know, Jacob is in Europe, Praveen is in India. It's been difficult in terms of time differences, etc. I'm effectively awake 24 hours a day, as people will probably say. So we've actually decided to move, the core operations over to at least Central Time, as nearly everybody now involved in Evergrow is on that time. I know we've got obviously a very good team in Australia as well to help on the other side of the clock. So that means that Praveen and Jacob are stepping down to consultancy roles. They very much remain members of the Evergrow family. They very much remain with the project. I hugely want to thank those guys for what they've done. I talked to them about this, and we all agreed this was what would be best for the project to help it run in a more coherent and organized manner. So we've just been amazingly lucky to have a core team that has worked through the hardest of conditions for 11 months together, have all got on as friends, have built this incredible community. So I want to thank those guys. That's part of an announcement today. I want you guys as well to thank Praveen and Jacob for the incredible work they've done. As I said, they are still going to be here in the family doing consultancy work for us, but I think they deserve to take a little rest from the intensity that we've had over the last 11 months. So related to that, and something that the person involved doesn't know I'm about to say, is I'm incredibly proud to be able to promote Paul to our operations manager. Paul, you hugely deserve this, my friend. You are incredibly devoted to this project. You work tirelessly. You've built so many great relationships with so many important people. And, the management team discussed this, and we could not think of a better person to fulfill this role. So, Paul, what do you think? I'm going to hand over to you. I'm going to hand over to our new operations manager, Evergrow, Paul.
All right. I did not know that was coming. You guys really kept that a secret from me.
Yeah, we did.
We sure did.
Gotcha.
Congrats, Paul.
Oh man.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Hey, thanks, guys. Oh my God. Now you're gonna throw me off on my LunaSky features and stuff. Thank you guys so much. I'm not gonna turn this into a whole thing. Look, I never did this when I came, on board not on board, well, as a mod the first time. I just want to be a part of something bigger. And, and it just turned in from being a mod and then just kept going and going because I wanted to be a part of the community. And obviously everything blew up and it went crazy. And just kept going and going because I wanted to be a part of the community. There we go. Sorry, it was a little echo there. So, yeah, I'm out of words right now. Thank you so much, guys. Sam, your leadership, everything I've learned from you, everything I've learned from Frank, everything I learned from Cody, Ajit, Praveen, even Jacob, everybody. I can't thank you enough, guys. Wow. Thank you. Should I move into the LunaSky features now?
Absolutely. But I mean, Paul, you deserve this, and this was a unanimous decision. So congratulations, my friend.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm kind of shocked right now with that, so I'm not gonna
Congratulations, Paul. Yeah,
Well
like
Thank
done,
you,
Sam said,
guys.
you
I really
You have earned
appreciate
it.
it. Wow.
Definitely earned it.
Wow.
we know how to keep a secret. Gotcha.
No shit. Wow.
Well and truly.
Oh wow.
I think
Okay,
the fact
guys.
we've
So
managed to hide the building of a launch platform for our own token for the last couple of months. This was probably an easier secret to keep for the last few days, but we're glad we got you because you normally get every secret because you ask so many questions all the time. So we got you this time, man.
I know you did. Now it's all starting to catch up to me in my head about little conversations I've had with this person and that person, and I'm like, oh, okay, kind of. Jesus. Okay. So yeah, that platform we've been building, well, you can get into that, Sam, the LunaSky platform. So I mean the Lucro platform that we're building. So the LunaSky features, let's go over this. So look, one of our main goals when we started all this was to make it as easy and user friendly as possible so that all new users could mint and buy and sell NFTs, from the first couple minutes logging in, because I know we have a lot of new users out there. So I'm going to try and go over just some quick, look, the marketplace will have all the usual features of an NFT marketplace. So if you all don't know, it'll be multi-chain. It'll support Binance, ETH, and Poly on launch. We are going to add more chains as the updates go along, and obviously the popular chains will come first, and they will go on as we follow. It will also support the token standard 1155, which allows you to buy and sell multiple quantities of NFTs paying one single gas fee. So you can, put on 50 NFTs for one single gas fee. That's what the standard 1155 that you've actually heard from a lot of projects, and now including ours. Wall-to-wall transfers for NFT trading will be on there. Content creators can lock premium content behind NFTs like music, videos, photos, etc. That'll be nice. We will have one of the best AI content flagging systems in place to protect the marketplace from bad actors. Obviously, you know what this means. We don't want any, really, really bad NFTs on there. So we have an AI system to flag those and make sure they don't get through. You were able to add royalties to your NFT up to 10%. And you can actually split these between, numerous people. So let's say you have 3 people in a collection. You can actually, have one person, if let's say you're doing like 9% on an NFT royalty. That's a little high, but let's just say you're doing that. If you have 3 people running the collection, you can do 3%, 3%, 3%. You can split it up. I think that's pretty cool. You'll be able to create and mint your own mystery boxes. We'll have an auction function where you can bid and make offers on your NFTs. And let's go to the second part of this. We also wanted to make, this is one of our serious goals, and Sam mentioned before, we want to make it as easy as possible for creators and their fans to share their work on social media. This could not be a more important thing for us. So there'll be a favorite button on all NFTs. You can press your favorite, it'll turn red, and it'll have a favorite count under it. Under your profile, you'll have followers. You'll be able to follow creators. You'll be able to follow collections. They'll be able to follow you back, kind of like you see on any social media platform. Creators and holders will be able to share their collection or NFTs on all major social media platforms. So you'll be able to, someone will be able to share their collection on Twitter or Facebook, TikTok, whatever one there is. We got all that absolutely on there. Now, this will be kind of cool. We will be able to offer discounted trading fees and revenue splits to incentivize big NFT projects and holders to migrate their collections over to LunaSky. Now, this is big because we obviously want to bring more eyes over to LunaSky. So this way we can, maybe offer something, to these bigger projects in order to bring them on to LunaSky, to LunaSky. So that's a big thing. Now, an upcoming feature that might not be at launch. There's 2 things I want to say. Now, we're going to try and get them on at launch, but if we don't, they will be on the first update within a couple weeks. We want to be able to message back and forth between people, but you have to be able to follow that person. And obviously, some content creators or collections maybe don't want to be messaged. So they'll be able to turn off that messaging system if they don't want it. And also, when Creator comes out, we want to integrate your LunaSky profile with your Creator profile so you can, be able to swap messages back and forth. So maybe all those messages can combine as one, and you can promote on Creator and LunaSky at the same time your profile. This only doesn't count for Creator; it counts, for Twitter and Facebook and all those. So we're still working on that. We're hoping to have it out, but if we don't have it out at launch, it will be within the first update. The last thing I want to say is our devs are working their best on to develop a system that will allow users to effortlessly import all of their listings or content from OpenSea and other major platforms over to LunaSky in just a few clicks or less. So we want those collections that are on, OpenSea. They can just put it on LunaSky, with a couple clicks. Boom, that collection's over there and it's over on LunaSky. So they can have it on both places. The devs are working on this. It hopefully will have it in the first update. This is going to be a big game-changing thing, so we can have all kind of collections on there, and it's going to be big. So we're working with our devs very hard. Hopefully they can pull it off. We'll have more updates on that later. So that's what's going on with LunaSky. Sam, do you want to go into my last thing I want to talk about?
Yes, please carry on, Paul.
Okay. My last thing is we have some promotions that I would like to give a shout out to people with, just like I got mine that they didn't tell me about. So our new community managers will be Rocket, AK Emmanuel, and Nicola. These are two new community managers moved up, and congratulations, guys. You guys have earned it. Our new Discord manager is Ryan. You might also know him as Animal. Congratulations. Our new Telegram manager is Noah. Congratulations, Noah. And we have moved up Marios to one of our community leaders. He'll be helping out in so many different spaces. We have a lot of other team members that get a big thank you. We could have done this without all of you. We are still working hard. We still have more work to do. We know the work has just started, and we're going to bring up a lot more people because the skills that we are finding in the community are just great. So we thank you and congratulations on your promotions. Sam?
Thank you, Paul. That was a great summary of LunaSky. I think your first job as our operations manager was very well carried out, and I think the community probably from there can understand just how involved you are. You, Cody, Frank, and lots of other unsung heroes have worked tirelessly in getting the features for LunaSky to be absolutely top notch. And that system inside out. Obviously, big congratulations to Paul, Emmanuel, Nicola, Ryan, Noah, and Marius, all for their promotions. These are very well deserved. It takes a lot actually to work your way up in Evergrow. This is 11 months in, and we don't just hand out promotions for nothing. We effectively did our first sort of promotions after kind of 7-8 months of the project. So it really does mean that these guys have risen to the top out of teams of hundreds of people over the last 11 months. So huge congrats to them all. So, we've basically told you about two incredibly exciting things, obviously two things that tie together. I'm sure you've got lots of questions. We want to really dig deep into both. So, just to recap, within 3.5 weeks, LunaSky will be live with a huge opening promotion, selling $1.5 million worth of NFTs, giving away a Tesla or $50,000. The NFTs will have further value that we're going to talk about at other points. So there's going to be reasons to buy that collection, which is obviously very important as well. And then we've talked to you today about Lucro. Lucro is something I hinted at. I think I actually specifically gave out this idea at an AMA back at the beginning of the year. I talked about the fact that these tokens of taxes are designed to be held for growth and rewards, and that you need an ecosystem token. And this is perfect because 1% tax does not put off trading. So, you see the sort of volume on SHIB and Doge, billions a day. Can you imagine what this will do for Evergrow's buyback and burn and for the demand of Lucro, and when we can push Lucro? Lucro actually was a name that, again, our hero CP Doge came up with. The guy is very quiet, very modest in the background, but he came up with that name. He came up with a logo. He put that video together with the help of Cody and the designers. So huge credit there. But this is pure symbiosis, the way these two tokens are going to work together. Because everything we spend on developing Evergrow is going to lead to an improved Evergrow ecosystem. And remember, the Evergrow ecosystem has fees, and we earn money from those fees. But also, we're going to integrate Lucro as a token into the ecosystem and into the abstract, our virtual reality partnership. We're going to begin that integration very quickly after launch. There is potential for huge trading volume on Lucro. Lucro is at least another utility to bring revenue for buyback and burn, and indeed for direct rewards. But we've actually set the contract of Lucro so that the tax, the 0.8 goes direct to the Evergrow buyback and burn function. So there's nothing happening in between. So we're going to see that buyback and burn kick in as soon as that token goes live, which will be on PancakeSwap on the 12th of September. We are instantly going to have revenue. And then just what is it going to be? 12, 13 days later, we're going to have LunaSky generating revenue from day one. On the subject of LunaSky, shout out to Nobility Token, who announced their NFT collection today. This is just the first announcement. They are going to launch their NFT collection on LunaSky. We do really appreciate and love those guys over there at Nobility Token, and thank them for choosing LunaSky. This will be the first of many such announcements. So anyone running big projects, big NFT collections, we are going to work with you to incentivize you to use LunaSky to benefit your community, and obviously to benefit the Evergrow community, which is our priority. So I'm just incredibly happy about everything that we've worked on. I'm also incredibly happy that this went smoothly. An awful lot of work goes into this, and the announcements are very important to us that we get everything right. And also we've been building a launch pad just for our coin. We're not going to get into the launch pad market for now, so don't worry. But we have built a launch pad to launch Lucro. This really just helps us keep control of everything, keep it all in-house and secure. Very importantly, the Lucro contract will be CertiK audited. So not only is it coming from a team that you all know and trust, but it'll obviously be fully audited as well. And it does also use the same contract as Evergrow, which I think we all agree is probably, one of the most robust contracts in the space. No issues after 11 months of flawless operations. So everything's been beautifully put together to help Evergrow holders, but also to incentivize, a little investment into Lucro. I'm sure it will go a long way. The last thing I'll say before we go to MA is we really wanted this to be a fair launch. There is not going to be any incentives for anybody. There's not going to be any whitelist, any pre-sale. We don't care if you're investing $50,000, which is actually the maximum investment. And I would not be surprised seeing some of the buys we've seen on Evergrow if people do take advantage of the maximum investment, or if you're just investing $10. We want you. We appreciate every single investor. So the Lucro launch will be an absolute fair launch where everybody will have the opportunity, within reason, obviously, until it sells out. So we wouldn't hang around, but it doesn't matter. You don't need to be friends. You don't need to be a YouTuber. You don't need to have a whitelist. You just need to, support the concept of Lucro and want to get in at the very ground level of a new token. So unless anybody else in the team want to say anything, maybe we could lead into the AMA.
Yeah, I will. If you guys have any questions, put your hands up. When I bring you up, please do not speak until I call on you, just so we can keep it going. I'll bring a couple people up at a time. Let's bring up some. I bring up 3 people at a time, and then we can go from there.
And let's just, for efficiency, let's not forget to set the rules of the AMA, just to make sure it keeps flowing. Paul,
1 question, please. Please don't have a couple questions, because you usually answer one and then it goes. So 1 question and then mute yourself, and I'm going to drop you down. Sam can answer. I'll move on to the next, because we'll probably have a lot. Evergrow Love.
Well, hello, and how are you doing today? Congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Well, looking forward to the NFT release. That is awesome. My question, I was reading a lot of the comments about Lucro, and naturally you're going to get a lot of questions about Lucro, I imagine.
That's a good question. So the answer is what we've always said over the last sort of 8 or 9 months, if you've tuned into the AMAs, that Evergrow is not designed to be a currency or a trading token. It's designed to be held. So, for example, we haven't actually finally decided whether we're going to charge 2.5% on LunaSky or whether we're going to undercut. But that 2.5% will be payable in various currencies. It can be, we're going to integrate Lucro, but you can also pay it in BNB. Obviously, we're a multi-chain, so you can pay it in ETH and other currencies. That 2.5% is going to Evergrow buyback and burn. Nothing's changed there. Evergrow was never meant to be used to pay for stuff. It has a 14% tax. No one's ever going to use Evergrow to pay for stuff. That was never, well, it might have been the idea in September last year, but as soon as I came on board, I very early pointed out. So hopefully people have stayed up to date with our opinion on the fact that you cannot have a high tax token become a currency. I've said this over 100 times. So nothing changes with Evergrow. It will still receive all the buyback and burn generated from all of those fees, from the sale of the NFTs, from subscriptions on Crater, etc., etc. So nothing's changed there. But what we felt was, why not offer another way to generate income for buyback and burn on top? Because we were going to integrate the obvious big cryptos into Crater and LunaSky and the wallet, etc., BNB, potentially Bitcoin in the future. But now we can integrate Lucro, and people will spend Lucro without worrying about it. They will trade Lucro. They will, speculate with Lucro. And as more and more elements of our ecosystem come on board, more and more people are going to want to buy Lucro, and that volume could be significant for our buyback and burn. If we have 30 million in volume, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars of buyback and burn. Currently, that's more than our current daily volume on Evergrow. So this is what we talk about with symbiosis. Somebody could come onto LunaSky, buy, and this will be integrated soon, maybe not at launch, but they could buy their NFT using Lucro. 2.5% of that fee goes to Evergrow. But then also another 1% goes to Evergrow. But also the fact that they're using Lucro creates demand on Lucro, which we would expect also would grow the price of Lucro. So that's why we keep talking about symbiosis, because the whole thing is designed to work together.
Yeah, Sam, I think, at the beginning when people said, and what you learned, after September that, except for people with, a trillions of tokens, they're not going to want to spend 14% tax in and out on.
Also, people don't want to.
Utilities.
People are going to want to hold once these utilities start ramping up. People aren't going to want to sell their Evergrow. It'd be like selling your pension. This is the idea of Evergrow is a passive income. Obviously, the higher the passive income, the more the price will grow, the more demand, etc., etc. But Evergrow was not designed to be used for trading. It was designed to be bought and held and to benefit from growth and from effectively dividends, whereas Lucro is the perfect partner to Evergrow.
All right, and it's independent by itself also, which is good for down the line. Hair EGC.
Thanks for letting me speak. So with Lucro, is that going to be listed on centralized exchanges?
Can you speak up a little bit?
Sure. With Lucro, my question was, is it going to be listed on centralized exchanges?
It's a good question, and it's the answer is. Sorry, Harry. Can we meet Harry? Sounds like you're just taking off in your private helicopter. Glad things worked out with early investor. Yeah. I mean, clearly, look, at this stage, CXs aren't our big concern, but with Lucro, yeah, we absolutely see the potential for that as well as Evergrow to, reach the heights of the top tier exchanges. Again, you've mostly heard my opinions on kind of tier 2, tier 3 exchanges. We are working on a utility, a wallet that we believe will mitigate against the requirement for centralized exchanges anyway. I believe that the trend is going to be moving away from centralized exchanges. The only reason people use centralized exchanges is because they can't get their money easily on and off Trust Wallet, for example, and that kind of thing. And you know what? Interestingly, we're not the only project who are going to solve this problem, and that's great because you can't just have one project define a shift in momentum. So believe me, I don't think we're going to be talking about CEXs and tokenomics in a year. I think we're going to talk about how easy it is to buy DeFi finally, how easy and cheap it is, and how all the barriers to entry have been removed. And projects are going to stop worrying about CEXs because the biggest business is going to be on DeFi. And the biggest business for DeFi projects is actually on DeFi. The CEXs only really sell like massive coins like Bitcoin, ETH, BNB, etc. They do very little, and obviously the meme coins. They do very little business with the others. I think actually the hype for CEXs was really built around, the sort of early 2021 trend. And I think the thing about running a business, if you don't understand and get ahead of trends, if you don't really learn what is good for your business, then you're never going to be successful. And you also need to learn what things don't work for your business. And you need to learn to accept and change that. And as a project, I'm telling you 100% CEXs are not where the value's at. Don't spend 50K listing your token on an exchange and you have no idea where their volume is real. Spend that 50K on volume, on advertising, marketing, engaging your community, and you'll do 10 times better overall than spending that on a CEX listing.
Crypto Cactus.
Good night, everyone. Congrats to you, Paul, on your new promotion.
Thank you, sir.
The question is, with LunaSky, will things like Kronos NFTs, will those be able to transfer over also or no?
Can you repeat that real quick?
No, it's talking about Kronos NFTs. I mean, you guys are more the NFT experts to me, but I would assume that we would need to add their chain for that to work. Can somebody?
Yeah, not at launch.
Yeah.
So ultimately,
Not
I mean, based on the way Kronos is looking, there's a good chance, but not at launch.
That'll be something we'd be working on for future developments.
Exactly.
We're going to continuously expand. We wanted to have multi-chain, the biggest 3 chain startup. It does take a lot of work to add a chain. So when we spoke to the devs, we said, look, I don't want to say minimum viable product because we're not launching a minimum viable product. We're launching an incredibly good product, but clearly you can always improve. So the short answer is we will be adding other chains as we go. So that would allow Kronos NFTs.
Yes. Okay. Who is next? Jared?
Yes. Nice to be speaking with you, Paul. Long time no see, man.
Amen, man.
So basically, my question is, with the LaCroix or Lucro token. So basically, that's just to drive up the price, the volume, more aggressively and fast. But like at its core, the Evergrow holders, what am I trying to say here? So all the holders that have already invested in, like that's long term. That's more like long term, and then like receiving the reflection side, and then Lucro is just to serve as a utility for all the Evergrow holders, for more buyback and burn.
No, it's not as simple as that. I mean,
okay.
Look, we always obviously recommend diversification, so diversifying Evergrow and Lucro. So the Lucro is designed to be built up for huge volumes. It's going to be the ecosystem token, but obviously, look, I can't give investment advice and I can't make predictions. But if lots and lots of people are using Lucro all the time, then the Lucro price is going to come under a lot of pressure and it's going to go up. That's how supply and demand works. But for every trade, Evergrow is benefiting. So I think, I've always said diversify your portfolio. I think both tokens certainly would sit beautifully side by side because they both benefit each other. But obviously, Evergrow is the core of our project. Evergrow is how the rewards are going to be paid, how you're going to receive rewards from all of this. But Lucro, I believe, could be in huge demand because it's going to be used across the ecosystem. But every time it's used, every time it passes between, a vendor and a buyer, Evergrow holders benefit. We can build out Lucro. We can offer it as a use case for other projects, for example, offering them a slight share on the taxes. We have ways to do that. So there are ways to build Lucro into a huge volume token. And I don't want to make predictions, but obviously there are tokens that have billions a day in volume. Now, nobody cares about 1% tax in crypto. Crypto is too volatile for people to worry about 1% tax, but they do care about 14% tax. So they're not going to be speculating with Evergrow buying and selling and buying NFTs of it, etc., because it's 14% each time. And also, you want to just hold Evergrow to benefit from everything that's happening to Evergrow and everything that will happen over the next year. So I hope that answers the question. Lucro has been designed, obviously, to complement Evergrow, but also to stand alone as a token that we believe is going to rise up. If Lucro is incredibly successful, which we believe it will be, that will automatically bring incredible success to Evergrow, because it can't not bring success, because a coin cannot increase dramatically in value and volume, etc., without producing the buyback and burn for Evergrow, which is what everybody wants. They want the buyback and burn. The more buyback and burn we do, the more Evergrow rewards we will get, the more price demand there is. So this is how it's been designed. This is why we keep saying this is pure symbiotic relationship between the two. Both coins benefit each other.
Yeah, and the bigger our ecosystem gets, like you said, the bigger Lucro will get in demand. So that's good.
Exactly, and the more demand there is on Lucro, the more buyback and burn there is for Evergrow, and the more Evergrow grows, and it's this beautiful circle, of demand and rewards and growth. And obviously, the more growth there is, the more we have in our marketing budget, the more we can build, the more we can grow, etc., etc. So this is the big plan.
Nitro, I don't know how to pronounce your name. 2 N's in it. Go ahead, man. Are you there? Nitro Newsom?
Oh, sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, I was just gonna say congratulations, guys. This is pretty stellar, pretty groundbreaking, I think. Super excited about it. Sam, I've been following you quite a bit, man, and I just appreciate your transparency. And I know sometimes it's hard to be transparent when you have something like this that you have to protect. So thanks for protecting it, and thanks for bringing it to the table.
I really appreciate you saying that. Yeah, it's been, we always want to share absolutely everything, but obviously when you're building towards things, there's quite a lot of stuff that we reveal less these days. Not just because we want to control, the hype, but also because like we're aware that we are kind of spearhead for projects in this space, and if we come out with an idea, we want to make sure it's finished and launched before another project try to let's say emulate it in a kind way. So yeah, we are working on all sorts of things in the background. Obviously, we want to reveal things to the community as soon as we can.
Sure, and I appreciate that. Real quick, and maybe I missed it. Can you walk us through real quick again the launching of Lucro? No white sale, no pre-sale. Do we know a price that it's going to start at? Do we know any of that yet?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you there's a link now, and a lot of this information will be on if you just go to the homepage, there's a link on the homepage of the website. We'll go there now. So it's going to be a fair launch. So basically everybody, we have to emphasize it's a BUSD launch. So much volatility in BNB. We set the launch in BUSD. So it's going to be a BUSD launch. 1 BUSD will buy you 30,000 Lucro tokens, and there's going to be 100 billion Lucro, so a far smaller supply than Evergrow. And the reason that we chose that number is because we really do believe that. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the detail of Lucro. We really do believe that we're going to get into the territory potentially one day with Lucro where we could be talking about, can Lucro ever hit $1? And it could be a realistic conversation. Because one thing we haven't said about Lucro is the coins that aren't sold at launch are going to form a treasury, and that treasury is going to be used continuously to benefit holders of Lucro, and that will also benefit holders of Evergrow. And that's going to include, in the style of Binance, BNB, a regular burn to reduce that supply of Lucro. So $100 billion. There is let's say a realistic expectation for the price to get to the kind of 1 cent mark, and then people can start speculating about whether it can ever get to $1. Now, I don't want to give that as investment advice, but I'm saying that that we chose the supply and the number deliberately to make it a, an understandable currency at some point in the future, where you actually kind of have a good idea of what you're spending. Obviously, it starts off at a much lower value, which means everybody can get in. So the launch window is actually going to be open for 48 hours, but we would not expect, we would still suggest you get in there early. It's going to go live, the pre-sale, not the pre-sale, the fair launch is going to go live on the 10th of September at 11 a.m. Eastern time. So we'll probably try and put up some kind of time converter on there, so maybe people can work out what time that is for them. But 11 a.m. Eastern on Saturday the 10th, so a week on Saturday. It will be open for 48 hours, but we can't guarantee it'll be available for 48 hours. So it will be first come, first serve, but minimum buy is $10. Make sure you have BUSD and BNB in your wallet. I think we'll probably BNB is obviously just to pay that very small gas fee. I think we'll probably just add that to the website. Maybe take a note of that. Someone in the team that we take a note that you should have both BUSD and BNB in your wallet to be able to enter. So the reason we decided to build our own launch platform for this is just so we didn't have that kind of launch cost and launch risk. So everything can go back to the Evergrow and Lucro family. So every cent raised is going to go back to the ecosystem, which again will benefit both tokens.
And guys, this fair launch page, it looks great. It's gonna be very smooth. It's gonna show that you bought your token, you claimed your tokens. It's gonna show everything. It's not gonna be any confusion, any of that. It looks great. CP did such a good job of designing it. We've been testing it and designing it, and we're gonna keep going doing that up until launch. But it's just absolutely great. We've been working really hard on everything. Khaled, go ahead. Khalid, are you there? All right, Space Cat.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. First, of course, congratulations, Sam, the team, and to you, Paul.
Thank you.
Yeah, most of my questions got answered, but I just want to ask one little thing. Just in layman terms, the new token, Lucro, can we call it in all intensive purposes a trader token to fuel the ecosystem? Is that pretty well what it is?
Well, we're trying to coin the phrase. We shouldn't say coin the phrase. The SEC will be all over us. We're trying to token the phrase ecosystem token, and I think that's going to become a new phrase in crypto if it's not been used already. So I think we'll call it an ecosystem token rather than anything else, because that's what it's designed for. But I will emphasize that yes, it can be traded. People can speculate. They can buy it. They can watch it. They can buy the dips, for example, sell, buy. We don't mind trade, but I generally think there's going to be a huge demand on this token. So you can call it a trader token because it can be traded, because no one's going to be put off by a 1% tax. But every time that happens, which is why we're very happy for people to do it, Evergrow buyback and burn will benefit.
Okay, Djordjevic.
Hey guys, one of the things you had hinted at the past year, I'm just trying to think back at your old AMAs and see what you may have hinted at, was an Evergrow stablecoin. Does this actually maybe negate the need for that, or would it be still something you're thinking about to have kind of the trifecta?
No,
want that volatility
what we don't want to do is we don't want to dilute through launching lots of coins. I'm confident this will be the only coin that we need. The issue with a stable coin is, well, it's not so attractive to own as something like Lucro, that obviously we believe has real potential for growth. Otherwise, why would you want to invest in it? And also, as we've seen recently, there are substantial risks attached to it. There aren't any risks essentially for integrity and structure attached to a standard token launch. So, and I don't feel that we would necessarily need stable coin. And who knows, what's going to happen with fiat currencies. The dollar's gone crazy. I suspect that will reverse at some point. So yeah, short answer is I think this is it for us. We don't want to overdo it with coins. We certainly don't want people to think that we've launched too many coins. I think an Evergrow coin to hold for growth and rewards, and an ecosystem coin to use and hold for growth is all we need.
James?
Hi, two quick questions. One
question,
just
please.
one question. Okay. Is there do we have a status update on the Simplex buy button on Trust Wallet?
Yes, we do. Basically, it's all done, and the liquidity has been sent for the launch, but the liquidity provider have said it's frustrating, but I don't want to say anything overly negative. But the liquidity provider have said that they need time to integrate the APIs that we've built, because we insisted that we wanted the price to be drawn direct from PancakeSwap, because every other token has the price drawn from centralized exchanges, and we all know that those prices are total nonsense. So we paid a little stack of money quite a long time ago. I'm not going to name any company names. I'm a little bit frustrated personally about it. It's not the end of the world. I don't think the markets are still quite low. I don't think it's quite the end of the world. Obviously, we want it up and running in time for launch of LunaSky. But everything is absolutely done and finished. Everything's done. We signed updated contracts with the liquidity broker. We signed contracts with Simplex 7 months ago or something. The APIs were all built and tested and perfect. We thought the liquidity provider had tested them and okayed them over a month ago. And then they just turned around to us and said, look, we need a couple of weeks. So it's all done. It's just going to suddenly go live, but we can't control it. I'm a little bit frustrated, but at the same time, it's not really the end of the world. It's not a big priority for us, but we are actually going to have a number. We're not going to go into too much detail because these things are still being done, but we are going to have 1, 2, potentially 3 options as well on LunaSky for fiat use. You can buy your NFTs with fiat. So that's the reason we haven't gone into details with that, is we're still negotiating with 1 or 2 providers, but it's nowhere near as complex as the integration of Evergrow, because Evergrow is obviously a new token that hadn't been integrated before. Ultimately, as well, obviously Lucro will go through this process so that people can spend in Lucro, but also buy with fiat. But again, we'd have to go through that integration. But to reassure people, the process is much quicker for LunaSky, things like BNB and ETH, etc. Because obviously we go multi-chain, so we're going to have multiple fiat options. So yeah, Simplex have been great. They've done their job. It's all done, and suddenly, the liquidity provider needs time. The ironic thing is, I think that because we've gone through all this pain as a project to get this magical button, I think once it's done, I would imagine that other projects will probably follow on quite quickly behind us. But that's fine, and it'll also mean it'll be a lot easier for us to get Lucro's button, because we've gone through all this pain, and now we know exactly the process that needs to go through. Because it's very, very rare you'll not see this button really, unless it's kind of for a Bitcoin or a BNB. So not the greatest answer, but I think 2 or 3 weeks and it'll be live.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I've been at the table. There's no one else you'd rather have on your side negotiating a good price for you guys other than Sam. So I've seen it myself. There's no other person.
Congrats for that.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah,
okay.
That's a fact.
Yeah,
Yep.
fact. Mike.
Hey, gentlemen, congratulations to the whole team for everything, the announcements and the promotions. Love the way you guys carry yourselves on social media. It's a great team. So thanks for your time. But just a question about, I guess, how Evergrow Coin is, as Sam said, meant to be kind of held on to for a long time for passive income, for those reflections. Obviously, some of those reflections were derived from the volume of Evergrow Coin, and if I'm wrapping my head around this correctly, maybe some of that volume might be shifting towards Lucro a bit, and which is obviously 0.8% of that will be going back towards buyback and burn of Evergrow. But will Lucro have any direct impact, positively or negatively, for the reflections aspect of Evergrow? Again, thanks for your time and answering all these questions, guys. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, I don't think Christ, it's a big market out there, and we're launching possibly two of the best coins in the space. But you know, there are people investing in 1,000 other coins. So I've got no fears of you know, diluting Evergrow volume through this. Absolutely not, because that's not how it works. You know, once Evergrow volume starts kicking in, once the fees start kicking in for LunaSky, which will be very soon, once we've got over $1 million for buyback and burn, and Lucro will be live generating more, I'm telling you, people are going to be piling into Evergrow because, well, I can't say this because, you know, I don't want to be giving investment advice. But if all those things happen, then clearly the Evergrow price is going to start to recover. So it's there's no logical like reason to think that, you know, something that contributes towards buyback and burn, something that wasn't going to be effectively in existence before. Evergrow, look, we defined back in January that Evergrow wasn't going to be, or probably earlier, that Evergrow wasn't going to be used for buying and selling stuff. We defined that back in January, so that's nothing's changed. But what we did say is, why miss the opportunity to make a little bit more for Evergrow from that buying and selling? You know, let's make it possible for people to list their NFTs using Lucro. Now we're gonna work on the integration with the devs. It probably won't be at launch, I don't think, but it'll be soon after. Then we can do the same with people like Wire and Simplex, for example. So this is just adding. This is just adding what I believe will be almost the equivalent of another utility. And bear in mind that if we can nail the Lucro marketing, and we can get it to that super high volume level that some of these meme coins and top cryptos have, the impact on Evergrow could be enormous. It could be like an incredibly successful utility that nobody expected that we've just announced today. So, you know, this isn't taking away, because Lucro is another token out there, and people don't just invest in one token, they invest in lots of tokens. But if you look through the list of tokens you can invest in today, I would say Lucro has just flown right near the top of that list along with Evergrow, because Evergrow is in the delivery stage now. Yep, our price has got smashed partly through delays, partly through the markets, and people are starting to go, you know what, I think it's time to get back into Evergrow. They're finally going to start delivering their promises. They've got an unbelievable ecosystem. I don't think anybody in the space has ever denied that our ecosystem is the best in the space. $1.5 billion top market cap. But then we had a massive market crash. We had delays from our side. We had problems that we've learned from, that we've fixed. We've improved and strengthened our team. We've got an incredible development company working for us. So for me, it's just compelling reason after compelling reason. You know, for those people who have kind of scratched their heads about Evergrow and said, listen, are these guys ever going to deliver? Well, we're there now. We hold our hands up. We didn't always get it right. We did have delays, faults of our own, market problems, development problems. But, you know, we all got together, and this amazing team, and I mean the core team and the new management team now, who are now the top tier of Evergrow. We got together and we said, how can we solve all these problems? How can we deliver what we promised? You know, when we were worth $1.5 billion, we did not have a team like this. We did not have an ecosystem like this. We didn't have half of what we're offering now. So I've got no doubts. I've got no fears about Evergrow's future. And I really believe that Lucro also could just be an amazing achievement from our team to bring more success to people who invest in both projects.
Hey, Sam, I'm going to put you on the spot right now. We're about an hour in, and we got about 10 questions. I don't think we can get through them all. I know it's 4 a.m. where you are. How much longer do you think you got in you? We haven't done a Spaces in a while.
About
What do you think?
2 glasses of wine left, so let's keep going, because we haven't had an AMA for a while, and
Yep.
I do want to try to give people as much info as they need tonight.
Okay. M.
Hi, I'm just in terms of Lucro being used in the ecosystem. Will there be any incentive for people to use that specific coin, like on Crater or LunaSky, or will the incentive just be, I hold Evergrow, so it's a good idea for me to also use this to benefit myself there?
Yeah, there's going to be a mix, and one of the things that we can integrate would be a slight fee discount, for example, but not going over the top on fee discounts. But part of it's just going to be that Lucro is going to be a tradable good token to hold. One thing, I think one thing that we're really not focused on that we should be, is that the abstract will incorporate Lucro. and that's obviously like the potential for the abstract is through the roof, and there's not going to be other options on the abstract. So we can't forget the abstract. The volume from the abstract could be incredible. You know, we're ultimately looking with those guys to take it to unseen levels of integration. So again, areas where we're having a high volume token makes far more sense than having a taxable token, because people are going to be reluctant to. No one's going to want to give away their Evergrow to like buy a takeaway meal on the abstract, for example, or to play a game for a few dollars. But they are going to want to use Lucro, and every time they do those small transactions, you know, they're all going to add up for Evergrow. I mean, I could just imagine a time when Lucro is contributing a huge amount towards our buyback and burn, and we've got contributions coming in left, right, and center. That's what it's all about. It's about not putting all your eggs in one basket. About, you know, LunaSky, Lucro, our wallet, Crater, all continuously buying Evergrow, putting huge demand pressure on Evergrow, creating continuous rewards, and it's all been designed for that. I see Lucro as a standalone crypto that I think is amazing, because who's going to be able to, you know, invest in a crypto at a fair launch price that is going to suddenly be used in an ecosystem 2 weeks later, or maybe perhaps not 2 weeks later? As I said, we need to integrate it with the devs first, because I don't think 2 weeks will be enough for them to do it live from launch, but, you know, shortly later. And also we're going to, as soon as Lucro goes live, we're going to assign some devs to the abstract to get that integrated ASAP in the abstract as well. And again, it's all going to benefit Evergrow. So, you know, I just think that we could be sitting on two of the best tokens in the entire space.
Okay. PRE Purple?
Hey guys, thank you. Yeah, it's Preble. Sam, I follow you really closely, and I comment a lot on, and you're really kind, and I love what you guys do, and I'm really excited about everything. I have kind of a newbie technical question. I've been a part of one pre-sale, kind of similar to this, and we had to load that new contract address onto our wallet. Is that the same kind of system we're going to do for this one, or just added your BUSD wallet address and then it'll propagate in your wallet?
So thanks for the question, and also like I'm very much aware of you, a great positive member of our community. So I really appreciate that as well. I see your comments, and it's great. We love our community. Our community is so positive, so amazing. So yeah, I mean, look, as is the case with any new token, and we'll you know what we're like. We'll produce some nice instructional materials. So there won't be too much to worry about. You can do the pre-sale without having. I keep saying pre-sale. You can do the fair launch without having to worry about anything too complicated. You just connect your wallet, enter your BUSD amount, and then approve it, and that will go through nice and easy. And then you will have to go into your Trust Wallet and drop in that contract address, and then Lucro will appear. And obviously, once we get listed on our favorite company in the whole world, CoinMarketCap, probably in about 10 years. I'm being a bit facetious. Either way, it doesn't actually make any difference. All that's good, obviously, with CoinMarketCap is that you get to see your valuation and the logo, etc., in your wallet. So once that comes up, those will show up naturally. But yes, you will have to do that process of adding a token to the wallet. But we'll make sure. Basically, even if you don't do that, you still have your tokens. Just to reassure people, it's the same with if you haven't activated your BUSD on Evergrow. You're still earning those BUSD. That's all on the blockchain. You could go to BSC Scan and see your wallet there in the list of Evergrow holders or Lucro holders, for example. So, but yes, you will have to go through that process. And I think it's nice you brought that up. We should probably make a little note to do a very simple instructional video to show people how to add maybe Evergrow and Lucro to their Trust wallets or their SafeMoon wallets or their MetaMask, etc., just so everyone knows how to do that at the time.
Well, that was going to be a surprise, so it is definitely going to happen.
Well,
yeah,
always
we'll
ahead,
make some
always
how-to tutorials. Yeah,
awesome.
We'll definitely have some how-to tutorials, everybody.
SMR.
Hello. Either at launch or at a later date, are there any plans to incorporate advertisements on Crater or LunaSky?
It's a very good question. So, LunaSky, possibly not, because we don't want to put people off because it's not really culturally how it's done. And we want LunaSky to be this beautiful, welcoming place, and we will be making money off fees. With Crater, again, if we can avoid advertising for as long as possible, it's a lot more likely than with a Facebook type platform because Facebook don't generate any revenue. But with Crater, we'll be generating revenue. So, this is one of the things that I talked about with Paul quite a lot, is we would rather that influencers kind of promoted their content to generate that extra revenue rather than we had banner advertising and things like that irritating people in the timelines. So I would say at launch, we'll do our best to avoid it. If we can keep advertising off there as long as possible, we will. We have got some ideas for the future that, let's say we flip it right on its head. Let's say one day LunaSky could be free to mint and sell NFTs, and it was all paid for by advertisers. Let's just say that's a theoretical, because we don't want to go down that road, until it's proven. But there's an interesting thing there. If you have the #1 NFT platform in the world, advertisers would pay to be there, and if listing and minting and all that is free, then no one's going to want to go anywhere else. So that might be where we end up eventually. But we're going to try to keep our eye on advertising. Like our priority is obviously to create great utilities, but our priority is also to generate revenue for Evergrow, buyback and burn. So we have to get that balance, and we'll certainly run some tests, and we will definitely have the ability to have promoted content on Crater. We could potentially have that promoted content on LunaSky as well. So a collection, for example, an artist could pay to promote that. So there's plenty of ways to do it without it being so intrusive as a banner advert for a car or another crypto maybe. So we're going to try to avoid that as long as we can.
Yeah, but definitely this is something me and Sam did talk about. Is we had the conversation about about how if you want to increase, you want to increase your followers, you want to get your name out there, you want to get your brand out there on the platform instead of building up through Instagram or Facebook, whatever. You actually can pay a little thing to be in the recommended page for 3 days, or be on the front page banner, or be in the promoted section. These are all things. So it's not just coming from the customer; it can also come from the creator, also trying to make themselves bigger. So this is all being talked about in the background. As much as we don't want to overdo it, we obviously want to do a fair price and make it right for everybody. So, but there's definitely things being talked about. Rick.
Hey, thank you. I just wanted to find out what's the newest on Crater.
So Crater, we've had actually, it's been really good. And this is not just me trying to find positives out of delays, but it's been a really positive process for us to just take a breather on Crater, because we were intensely in the development of Crater. We got through, very much built a usable platform, but now we've realized 10 ways we can make it so much better, so much easier, simpler, more intuitive. So as soon as LunaSky goes live, in fact, we're going to be in a very privileged position in a few weeks where we can double, if not treble, our professional development relationship. And our plan, to be honest, is to go full steam ahead with a full team on Crater and a full team on Wallet, and keep the existing team working on LunaSky. So we would like to, I don't want to give deadlines, we would like to try to get another launch in this year. But as LunaSky will be live and a going concern, growing with advertising and revenue, at least we'll definitely have something bringing in revenue. I would like to try to get something else launched this year, but I don't want to make promises. But we're going to be full steam ahead on it. And honestly, this mental break from Crater to give us a chance to sit back and think what's really needed. We've seen some developments on the things like Twitter have developed and gone into interesting directions. An awful lot of controversy there. I think it's created an opportunity. So yeah, we're raring to go, and we will be putting a full team on Crater to push that development to finish time very, very soon. I mean, you've seen how with our new development company, who are absolutely fantastic. We're not going to say who they are, That's because we don't want other projects to have them. We want them all to ourselves, and we want to effectively keep employing more and more of their company. They're a big global firm, and we want to expand our relationship with them once LunaSky goes live. But already that relationship has given us the confidence that we can, potentially get Crater out this year. But I don't want to give that as a firm date, so please don't say to me that it's late if we don't manage that. But the devs we're working with are just so smart and so experienced that they're giving us an awful lot more confidence in terms of what we can achieve now.
And also want to say we got a team of people led by Frank and Rocket and some other guys on the team that are going out and going out to these collections and for LunaSky and doing the talking, establishing relationships, partnerships. Sam already mentioned one of them, but we also have guys that are in the background already working. So when we released LunaSky, we have plenty of projects on it, plenty of collections on there that you know about. So that's already in the works. That's already going. They're working really hard on that. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, don't underestimate what Paul's saying there, guys. We have a pre-launch NFT marketplace with over 5,000 followers on Twitter, with hashtags, with a buzz about it. When we tweet stuff, it gets hundreds of interactions. That's more than a lot of existing companies can achieve. So what the guys have done, and as Paul has said, there's a whole team, and loads of credit as well to our design family, the Gomez family, an amazing bunch of incredibly talented guys who have worked alongside them as well. What they've been doing with the LunaSky page, the Twitter over the last month or so, is really essential stuff, guys. This is like pre-launch, getting the name out there, getting a brand out there. We're going to launch LunaSky into an existing market that nobody's ever been able to do before. When OpenSea launched, they didn't have 5,000 followers on Twitter. They didn't have a brand. They didn't have a huge crypto community ready to help out, which you guys have got to do as well. Like we can't be complacent about LunaSky. When that platform goes live, I want every single one of you to be, I'm not going to say spamming the hell out of it, but I'm going to say talking about LunaSky absolutely everywhere, because we need that as well, because that's the only way in modern life you can, go viral without spending $5 to $10 million on marketing. So please don't underestimate the brilliant work that the guys have put into building over 5,000 followers on a pre-launch Twitter page. It's quite impressive what they've done, and they've been building relationships as well. And it's the NFT world is a really close-knit world built on friendships and relationships, and that's what those guys have been doing. So huge credit to the whole team for that.
Absolutely. Fernando?
Hey, Sam. Just quick question for you. In terms of, like, maybe I don't know if you would describe it as like a KPI, but do you have like volume targets that you're looking at when you look at Evergrow trading volume, and where you're hoping to see it get to by year end, given all the exciting news that's coming out?
I'll be honest with you. The answer is no. I think it's incredibly difficult to, we've got the markets. Crypto, we've seen it. Our peak volume was over $30 million. That was based on a combination of Evergrow going viral and incredible markets, etc., etc. I believe the crypto market at some point will be 10 times bigger than it was during that peak. And if Evergrow can become a top crypto, which is how we've always had in our sites, then can you imagine if we can see that sort of volume on a regular basis? It would be incredible, life-changing stuff. What it shows me, that over the last couple of days, in a poor market, so BNB has been falling again. Over the last few days, BNB's dropped a little bit more. Not a concern for us at the moment because we put aside the money, but just from our community and from the positivity and knowing we had good news coming up, our volume went 4 or 5x. Okay, just from a little bit of excitement. Nothing went viral. This is just our community and you guys kind of anticipating that we're getting somewhere interesting. Okay, our volume went 4 or 5x in a very bad market. So I think we hit kind of 350k pancake swap volume a couple of days ago, which is really good, but it's just a start. That's in a really poor market where volume is low everywhere, etc., etc. So I think for me to try to sort of target, a volume would be a fool's errand, and I wouldn't even want to try to make those promises to the community. But what I do believe is in the right conditions, we can deliver what the community have been waiting for.
And plus more that are in our heads and we've been talking about for next year too, guys. This isn't going to stop just with the end of the year. Sam's got
some of the
plans.
stuff that we've
Sam's
got
plans.
some of the stuff that's under non-disclosure agreements with our team is truly spectacular, and we are on the radar as well with some incredible opportunities, but we're nowhere near there yet in terms of the things that we're planning to launch soon are just the tip of the iceberg of the discussions we've had for the sort of projects that we can get into using everything that we're building right now. We're really not revealing the full extent of our plans.
I'm gonna try this one more time. Khalid, are you there?
Yes, hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Speaking about volume, and since it's all about passive income, don't you think that decreasing the tax, since the tax one of the key, decreasing the tax gonna affect, if ever there is a chance to decrease the tax, and if yes, does that affect the 8% reward for the investor? Thank you.
Gally, thanks for the question. A very good question. I'm very motivated one day when we're able to decrease the tax. But the last thing that would get decreased would be rewards, and this would be the sort of decision that we would, obviously take to the community. So yes, I'd love to drop the tax down, so we didn't have to, have anything but the rewards in the tax, because obviously that would ultimately, I believe, help with volume. So. Yes, it's something that we can do when the conditions are right, when everything's generating money. But this is not the sort of decision we would drop on you. This is the sort of decision we would have votes. We would probably set up a voting system based on Evergrow holding so that everybody in the community could vote. Because this is a fundamental part of the project that I don't believe the management team have the right to decide. If I was to say, okay, look, we can wipe out all taxes, reduce rewards to 6%, and we'd only have a 6% tax, I would only do that if we were to create a democratic voting system where everybody who holds Evergrow could vote through the blockchain. So I want to reassure you that will never happen without consulting you guys.
Okay, guys, I've just brought up the last of the speakers. I think there's 4 or 5 of them. I brought them up. This is going to be the last of the questions. So just letting you guys know that. So I'm going to go in order. You all will get to speak. Go ahead, Brett, since you're already unmiked.
Hey guys, thanks for all the information. You answered some of the major questions early on, but just a minor question is, with the NFTs, how is the group going to make them? How do I put this? I invested in baseball cards early on, and of course they lost their value. So with NFTs, is the group going to make those type of things more valuable in the future, or is it marketing, or do you understand what I'm asking?
Yes, good question. So if you mean the Evergrow Man collection, or do you just mean NFTs in general?
I took them down.
Okay, no worries. So I can answer both questions. Obviously, I think with the future of NFTs, it's just unimaginable. Like, forget the I've said this 100 times. Forget $250,000 ape. Okay, that's not the future of NFTs. The future of NFTs is music, is ticketing, is events, is real estate, is transfer of ownership of property. We've talked in team about things like medical records. I think that stuff is more complex. NFTs are effectively, a very, very good, robust way of storing information, as you know, with blockchain on a digital ledger that can be stored securely. So I have zero doubts about the future of NFTs. And if anyone thinks we're just going to sit back and try and sell JPEGs on LunaSky, that's not going to be the case. With the Evergrow Man collection, first and foremost, it marks, what I believe to be the birth of what I hope and expect to be one of the most crucial crypto projects in history. In 10 years' time, I would like to think those collections represent 15,000. That's how many we made. 15,000 people who got in on day one, pretty much of a revolution. So they should have some value in that. But we're not just counting on that, because the team said to me, Sam, don't just count on the fact that this is they're beautiful creations and they're individual and they represent something special in the industry. So obviously, the fact that you can buy one of these NFTs and they're going to be $100 each, and you can buy one that will give you a very good chance of winning a Tesla or $50,000. So that's pretty good. But the other thing we didn't cover yet, and we're not going to cover the details of that, is that there will also be, if you hold your Evergrow Man NFT and you're holding it at a certain time, you're going to get an airdrop of Lucro tokens in the future. Now, we're going to define the number when the collection goes live. So the expectation is those Lucro tokens may well be worth more than you actually paid for the NFT. Obviously, we can't guarantee that because we don't know what will happen with the price of Lucro, but we are going to add that utility that there's going to be at least one, if not several, airdrops to the holders of those NFTs of Lucro. And again, that will create that volume for Lucro, and also create a utility, a reason for people to buy in. I'm going to spend $100. Am I going to win a Tesla? Am I going to hold a piece of crypto history? Am I going to get an airdrop that's actually worth more or less than $100? So there's going to be three reasons to buy our specific NFT collection, which is again why we're confident that not just people interested in Evergrow are going to buy them, because there's obviously a nice odd of winning a pretty spectacular prize, and also of getting an airdrop of a token that we believe will be very, very valuable.
And we're still talking about it. We're not sure if it's going to be one airdrop or it might be 4 quarters, like every 3-4 months, and the dates will be defined. We're not sure yet. We're still talking about it, but maybe
we will
it's not
define
just one.
everything. Yeah, we will define everything in advance, and we know we've got to get on with that now because it's only a few weeks ahead. The idea was that you could speculate with them. You could sell your Evergrow Man NFT to somebody who thinks, oh, I can buy this Evergrow Man NFT now for $200 because the price of Lucro means I'm going to actually receive more Lucro tokens than $200. We don't know. We can't guarantee those things. That's what speculation is all about. That's part of the fun of it. So this is why we thought, look, we'll define a specific number of Lucro that you will receive on a certain date in the future, let's say in January. And if you hold on to that, you can sell it, you can hold on to it as speculation. Will you be the wallet holding that Evergrow Man NFT when the airdrop happens? And how much will those Lucro be worth? Will it be worth more or less than you paid for the NFT? So this is part of the fun of what we've planned there.
Okay, 4 more questions. Brent, sorry to keep you waiting, bro.
Oh, you're fine. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. What will there be any small tax at all on Lucro to help with the buyback and burn? And what is the total supply?
Okay, so total supply is 100 billion, which is a lot less than Evergrow. There will be ongoing burn from the Treasury. So the burn is not defined by taxes. There will be a 1% tax in total, and 0.8% of that tax is going to go automatically to Evergrow's buyback and burn. So we're going to do the buyback and burn on Lucro kind of internally. Similar to Binance, we're going to have a buyback and burn, not a buyback, just a burn schedule to continuously reduce supply. So yes, there will be burn, but it won't be through taxes. We're going to keep that tax very low, with 0.2 going to the liquidity pool.
Yeah, I was going to say that you always need a little bit going towards the liquidity pool. Obviously, it's very important. Amy.
Yeah, so Sam had mentioned earlier how the abstract partnership is really going to help benefit the holders of Evergrow. So I see that the abstract mentioned about an hour ago that their arcade booking is live tomorrow, and then the month of September is free. I'm assuming that has to go hand in hand with the Lucro pre-sale or the fair launch sale September 10th through 12th. So I was just wondering then, after the fair sale, when is Lucro going to be launched so anybody who misses out on the fair launch is able to buy in.
Thanks, Amy. Both good questions and observations. So the fair launch will open with limited supply on the 10th of September at 11 a.m. Eastern. So anybody who manages to buy then won't have to, grapple with the public sale. And then the public sale will go live on the Monday following, so 2 days later, at 11 a.m. Eastern as well. Now, obviously, the abstract, we have to integrate Lucro. We're going to have to work with their devs, etc. So it will not happen overnight that Lucro will go live. There's going to be a few weeks where people are speculating on Lucro, trading it just to see what's going to happen. We need to then work with integration into, this is the interesting thing about Lucro, is that it's going to move into two ecosystems very, very quickly. Like, it's very rare for a crypto to have a use case after a few weeks. It basically never happened. So Lucro will be integrated into LunaSky, probably on the first update, I would say. And it will be integrated into the abstract as soon as possible. So we're going to dedicate a couple of devs to that process for the best way to integrate it into the abstract, because the abstract needs a crypto, and Lucro will be that crypto.
Crypto NFT.
Hey, also, I just got a quick question. So there's an upcoming crypto expo in Dubai, and 5 days later there's a future blockchain summit. Could we see us at some point at an expo in the near future?
I absolutely, and it's not that we've neglected these things. It's the same reason that we as a management team haven't all got together and slapped each other's backs and had a load of beers and put our expenses on the project, is that we didn't want to really do these things until we had something to promote. I've got no problem with getting to one of these expos. I've got no problem with getting up on a stage and speaking to people about Evergrow. But I didn't want to put that budget. These things, it costs a lot of money to get yourselves up on those stages, by the way. I was in Dubai, as you guys know, during one of the previous expos, and I felt, I looked into it and I saw the prices, and I thought, right now is not the time for Evergrow to be spending that sort of money on that sort of exposure. But when we can get up on that stage and say, is anybody else generating this much money for their holders? Is anybody else literally handing their holders cash dividends? When I can get up on that stage and say that, then we will do all of those things. And I will also get my team together and get everybody a beer, because I think they've deserved it. But we agreed as a team there would be no jollies, as we say in England, jolly holidays, and things like that, until we've got something to talk about. So believe me, once we're delivering, and things calm down a little bit, I'm very open to attending that kind of thing.
And we've all talked about this as a team. I'll reiterate that. There's we could pay out of the market wallet, Fly Fang from Australia and us and Sam from England, or use our own money. But then we'd all get together, have some beers, say hi to each other, and then fly back. But we want to get stuff out to you guys, and then then we can get together and talk about it and have a good time about it. But it's just not the right time yet. But hopefully in a couple months we can do that, and maybe we can meet some of y'all out when that happens. But nothing in the immediate future. We have one more question. Crypto Bard.
Thanks for having me. I'm really excited about everything you guys are getting ready to launch. I've been following you since late October last year. What I'm asking for is for a consideration. I don't need an answer right now, but will you consider providing some kind of loyalty appreciation to the long-term diamond holders, where we have stuck with you from this really rocky market? I know you're not responsible for it. I get that. But helping you out with getting this startup going so that you could build these projects and get these things launched. Is there any way that we could get some kind of loyalty, an annual thanks for having you here or something like that? You know what I mean? That's all I got.
Well, I think embracing the community uh, definitely is something that we want to do when we're able to as well. Like we can't do anything kind of technically to sort of go through the blockchain and say who's held it for longer, et cetera, et cetera. Although we hugely appreciate people who have, but like Paul said, like I said before, we want to be able to like meet everybody. We want to be able to put something on to get everybody together. We've had we had all these problems. If you remember, we had this awful like technical glitch with CMC that led to like major articles smearing our project and led to a big sell-off, and then it was compounded by the markets. We've been through hell as a project, and I believe we have one of the most harmonious and supportive communities in the whole of crypto these days. The FUDsters have tailed off. I think they get it now. This isn't a scam. No one's run away. We're still here. We're nearly a year in. Everybody's still here. Every single person who started off with Evergrow, as I said, we might have dissolved the core team, but all those guys that worked with me into those late nights, the four of us, Ajit, Praveen, Jacob, and myself, we're all still here. No one's left the project, even if those guys have taken a back role now. And the community, some of our top holders have sat back, and watched their values fall, and we massively appreciate that. And I wake up every day, as does everybody else in the project, and says, let's get back to that all-time high, guys, because we appreciate it, and we'd love to put on an event. I've got no doubt there will be an annual Evergrow conference. It wasn't right to do it this year. It was more about us delivering this year. But yeah, I'm pledging now we're going to put something together, and eventually we might be able to put it together in several different places, maybe one in America, one in Europe, one in Asia. I'm sure Frank can help us organize something in Australia one day. So we definitely want to give back to the community. We definitely want to give back to the community. Like this project would not exist without the EGC fam. It would not exist. We would not have had the budget or the support to do what we're doing now. We will get to the next stage of this project. We will get way beyond what anybody imagined when we launched back in September last year.
Fantastic. Well, Sam, thank you so much for your time. You've been at it for what, an hour and a half at this point. It's probably 3 or 4 a.m. for you. So thank you for your time, sharing all the details for the community. What a fantastic day for Evergrow, right? And all its holders. So a quick shout out and thank you to all the co-hosts and speakers. A big thank you to all of the staff that work tirelessly every day and night on the socials, Telegram staff, Discord staff, Reddit staff, Facebook staff, everybody. Thank you so much for everything y'all do. And, lastly, but certainly not least, thank you so much to all the holders. This would not exist without you. We are so grateful for all of you being here, for all of your support, all of the kind things you say, all of your questions, and even the direct things you say. We're all about it. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a fantastic evening. Like and share the video. Pop into the socials and say hey to all of us. Ask us questions. We're always here for you. Everybody take care.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Hey guys, go. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Definitely got. I'll probably have to put some videos together because I think that a lot of people didn't quite understand Lucro. That it basically that we need a utility token to work our ecosystem. So why not make our own, and why not have that utility token benefit Evergrow? So it's not you do whatever you want with your money, but it's not hey, sell your Evergrow and buy this, or it's not even a hey, buy this. It's hey, if you think that this is a good investment, you can buy this, and the demand for Lucro can go up, it can go down, but either way, it's going to be benefiting it's going to be the token that fuels the Evergrow ecosystem, because Evergrow is 14%. Obviously, you can't use that. So Evergrow is designed to hold for the rewards. That's what it's literally designed for. It's not necessarily designed for trading. It's not designed for being used attached to anything, because there's a tax and anybody else can beat your tax, by not having the tax. So Evergrow is the passive income that's going to be fueled by the Evergrow ecosystem. And Lucro is going to be the token that's it'll be an option for, Crater and LunaSky, but it'll also be the main one for the abstract. So depending on how well our VR does, you will have to get Lucro to get, whatever cryptocurrencies or whatever to use the abstract. And obviously Sam knows what he's talking about. It made me really happy that whenever someone suggested what is going to be the motivation to use Lucro as opposed to like BNB or something else, that Sam said, well, there's always the opportunity to lower the fees. And if you lower the fee in some sense, then people are more likely to want to use that token, and then that's consistent volume. That could be extremely high volume. That could be a day traded token, and all that volume is benefiting Evergrow in that it's burning tokens, on top of the buyback and burn from the profit from utility. It's actually an amazing ecosystem in my opinion. Mitch, thank you so much for the support and for the money. The reason that the volume's all the way up, so Twitter Spaces on my computer for some reason are so freaking quiet. I have the volume blasted, and it's still not working. It's still so hard to hear, but I listened to it on my phone to make sure that it's not unbearable. And it was not impossible to hear. It just wasn't as loud as we would like it, especially if we have some hearing issues or something, right? Lucro is, yes, there's a video on Lucro. Thank you so much for Mitch Bromwell. New token. The new token comes out on the 10th. I believe it was the 10th. And yeah, it's about 20, I'm pretty sure. But awesome, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And it was very exciting, big news. LunaSky comes out on the birthday of Evergrow. It's also huge. There's also so many giveaways and reasons to get the NFT. Like this is Evergrow. We're launching the products that are why we actually got into Evergrow, that can actually benefit us through passive income, through rewards. So yeah, it's really awesome to hear from them, and I will go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you so much for the donations, guys. You guys are really awesome. I really appreciate that, because I don't ask for donations, but Mitch Bromwell and a couple other people donated $50 because they are trying to just support me, and thank you so much for caring that much. That means a lot that somebody would go out of their way to do that, especially at a time where I'm not making money. I'm trying to get back into making money, and my health is affecting that. So as soon as if I can get my health fixed, I will be back to the grind. But thanks so much for being here today. Oh gosh. Thanks so much for being here today, guys. I might go back and re-edit some of those clips where they're explaining things and put it into a video. But I definitely feel like I need to make a video breaking down the potential of Lucro and how it benefits Evergrow. They're really two tokens to hold together, because if one does well, the other one's going to do well. So it's like another opportunity to buy in early if you feel like it's a good investment, and it's another opportunity that if the Evergrow ecosystem does well, people will be buying Lucro. And if people are buying Lucro, then it's going to be burning Evergrow. And if it's burning Evergrow, then the price of Evergrow is going to be going up. And if people are finding out about Evergrow through Lucro, through the NFT marketplace that we have, because we can do free advertising to Evergrow on our NFT marketplace if it does well, and on Crater. If you're on Crater or the NFT marketplace, we can promote Evergrow. And especially when people start to get to the idea that hey, all this profit is passive income for anybody that holds Evergrow. That idea is a great idea. And yeah, I'm super excited about the structure of Evergrow and watching the vision of it come together. But thank you so much, guys. You guys have an awesome time. D. Libby, Mitch Bromwell, you guys are amazing. Another $2 from Mitch. You're amazing, bro. I'll see you guys in the next video or the next live stream. You guys have a good weekend. I'll catch you guys later.